Hi everyone, it's Karen from the Geordie Grandma. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today is another episode, another video from the Transatlantic Housewives of YouTube, which is a collaboration with Tina from Tina's Talk Time, Maria from Maria Crocker, and Marie from Busy Bee Marie. And it is Sunday, so it is the Sunday Sunshine Show. It's difficult to say. And today's video is all about our favourite autumn walks. Now, my favourite autumn walk is in our local park, which is Saltwell Park, or as we call it, Southwell Park. And it is a lovely park, sort of in the middle of Gateshead. And we're just really lucky to have it. There is actually a book about the park, Saltwell Park, The Story of the People's Park by Anthea Lang. So if you are interested, if you live in the area or you have lived in the area and you're interested in the history of Saltwell Park, this is actually a really good book to read. It's got some nice pictures in of what it used to look like. So if anybody is interested in that book, if I can find a link to it, I'll link to it below because it is interesting. I'm not affiliated to it at all. I just think it's an interesting book. So I've got some footage of you here of me going for the walk in the park and showing you different things around there. So let's go for an autumn walk. That's the old bandstand in the distance you can see down there. They did actually used to have bands on in there back in the 70s. There's a lot of mushrooms growing down here. Don't know if they're magic mushrooms or not, but we're not going to pick them. That's Saltwell Towers you can see in the distance. I'll take you up a little bit closer. It used to be like a convalescence home for, I think it was for soldiers back in the First World War. And then it was derelict for quite a few years until it got some lottery money and they really did it up. And now it's a cafe inside and people can get married in there, have their wedding receptions, but I'll take you up a little bit closer. This is the War Memorial. Which is looking very pretty at this time of year. I love this little bridge. I actually told the grandkids that the trolls lived under it, so they pretend to be billy goats when they run across it. There you can see Saltwell Towers up a little bit closer there. It's a beautiful, beautiful building, but unfortunately the cafe inside, it's just got no character at all. It's not open at the moment, so I can't show you in there, unfortunately. That's part of Saltwell Towers' little garden with the little castle turrets. I mean, a beautiful place to get married. You see the monkey tree in the background. Little seating area there. I love the colours of all of the trees and the hedges and everything in autumn. I mean, it's not quite autumn, it's still, mid-September, so it's not in full autumn mode. There's another squirrel. Lots of squirrels in this park and they're very tame. We don't mind them. I know some people don't like them. There's a feature there that looks like part of the Tyne Bridge that they built, and it's got a flower bed in the middle. Apparently it represents the Great North Run, which is actually taking place tomorrow as I'm recording this, and the flowers represent the people who all run across the bridge, which is quite a nice touch. I've got some little art installations dotted around the park. I've never been quite sure what they're supposed to be. That always reminds me of an empty crisp packet actually. And you've got the Saltwell Park maze here, which was replanted a few years ago, and it's grown up really nicely. We've had the grandkids in there a few times. Me and Warren actually pretty much grew up in this park. We've lived in the area all our life, and we spent a lot of time in this park when we were younger, when we were kids, and we've always walked here. So it's nice to show the grandkids it as well. It is a good maze, especially if you're little. You won't be able to see out. There's more little castellated turret bits here that you can go and stand in. I love it at this time of morning. It's 6:30 in the morning and I just love it when it's empty and quiet. Lovely fountain there. It's now been planted with flowers. Here's Saltwell Towers garden up a little bit closer. You can walk all the way around the outside of it. Again, some more castellated turrets. This is the actual garden bit itself. I suppose if you're getting married here, you could have photos taken. Just really, really beautiful place.
It's alright, just keep.
I think this would make a fantastic venue for a wedding. Try to get my daughter to come and have a look at it, but she wasn't interested. Maybe I'll have to get married again and come here. What do you think, Warren?
No. Vegas.
Vegas, apparently. It's just a shame the inside of it looks... It's got no character at all. I don't know what they were thinking. Lots of picnic tables outside. You can hear them inside actually getting ready to open soon. Yeah, they put lots of bowls of water out for all the dogs. Lots of people walk their dogs in this park. I always remember when I was young, I must have been about 7 or 8, standing on that tower up there, and I threw a tennis ball into the greenery below, and I never got it back. I wonder if it's still there. And pretty little flowers. Uh-huh.
This is new.
This used to be a children's play area here, but they've turned it into a buzzing garden. National Garden Scheme. Got some pergolas there. pigeons enjoying the morning. There's just so many interesting things to look at in this park. We've got a little pond in the middle, which is looking a bit stagnant at the minute. I think it needs a bit of a clean. I think actually Ashton, our grandson, asked us if Shrek lived here. Maybe he does. I don't think there's any fish in it. I think that's where the park keepers keep all of their gear. There's some little enclosures up here that have chickens and rabbits and birds in them. There used to be a big chicken in here a few years ago called Arthur, and every time you came up to the cage, he'd run over to you and start like clucking away. He was such a character. He was huge. He was a what? He was a Buff Orpington, but he died a couple of years ago. Bless him. He's a big black chicken there. And in this cage down here, they have some peacocks, which used to terrify the life out of Ashton when he was about 2. And they've definitely got rabbits in this bit. So I think there's 3 females and 1 male in here. That always reminds me of a Playmobil barn at the back. None of them haven't got their feathers up at the moment. Some little birds in there. Oh. The cockerel and the peacock talking to each other there. I wonder what they're saying. Again, not sure what that's supposed to be. This part is the rose garden. Very peaceful little place. You want to come and sit and read your book and just smell the flowers and their glory. Like I say, they're kind of dying off now, but in the summer, really nice. Just feel so lucky to have this park right on my doorstep. Warren's found another squirrel to feed. So tame. I can still hear that cockerel. He's not happy about something. He must want feeding. I'll just do some video of me walking through the park so you can actually see that it's me. Like I say, it's about 7:15 in the morning now. My hair's a mess. I've got no makeup on, but who cares? I'm in the park. We're just coming up to the bowling green here. There's 3 bowling greens in Southwell Park. It's called Saltwell Park, but we, as being Geordies, we call it Southwell Park. There used to be a bowling green clubhouse there, but some stupid idiot boys decided they would burn it to the ground. So unfortunately there's no clubhouse there anymore. And through here is Saltwell Park Lake. Spent many a happy time on this lake, in the boats, walking around it, feeding the ducks. Swans on here. Get a lot of geese. There's There's a big Thomas the Tank Engine drives around here in the summer weather. Kids love that. This is the model boat clubhouse. There's usually a few men sitting around there. All the ducks out. Very misty this morning. Can't see the swans. Are there? There's a little island in the middle there where the swans, I think, have made their nest. They used to have lots of baby swans and baby ducks in Saltwell Park Lake, but they just don't seem to get that many anymore. Here's a mummy duck with some baby ducks coming in there, just as I've said that. Warren's throwing some feed out for them. Oh, bless them. How sweet. I do usually get a nature lesson from Warren when I'm in the park. He always tells us about how when he was 8, 9, 10, he used to come out to the park at 7 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't get back in the house until 7 o'clock at night, him and his mate. And every time we come, I get the same story. Is there any nature tips you want to give out there, Warren? I'm sure there is. You can just see the swans and their 3 babies in the distance through the trees there. Out for that early morning paddle. They've got some basketball courts through here, a tennis court, some more green. They used to have some like exercise machines set up on the grass over here for older people to use, but I don't think anybody used them, so they actually took them out. Warren's just informed us it's late in the year for little ducklings. That was my nature lesson for today. I take the mick, but I do actually enjoy these little nuggets. Excuse my husband's language. This is the big playing area part of the park. There used to be a big path running down this field, and it ended in a big stone paddling pool at the bottom, but they took that out quite a few years ago. I suppose it was a bit dangerous. We usually walk around the lake 2 or 3 times. Get the steps in. I'll let you know how many steps I've done after I've finished this video. Like I say, it's quite a big park. Here's the kids' play area for the older children. Got a big climbing thing there. Some swings, roundabouts. And on this side is the play area for the younger children. So they've got a big sand pit. Climbing thing. Some baby swings. Yeah, the grandkids have spent many a happy hour in here. This wasn't here when our kids were little, but there was a little park. And here's a squirrel come to play. I could watch squirrels for hours, they're quite fascinating. This is a little, what would you call that? A little shelter, wooden shelter. And we're walking in the park one morning and seeing the back of it was on fire. And Warren always tells people he saved the park.
He did?
Because he ran from here to find the park keeper to get the fire put out. And by the looks of it, it burned through these panels and they've never replaced them. This is the top end of the park. It's always planted nicely. Some lovely flower beds along here. And again, lots of seating areas where you can just sit and read your book or look at the view.
They've cut half the trees.
Yeah, they've been cutting half the hedge. Very pretty. Who's this here? Statue of Alderman John Lucas, whoever he may be. I remember this being a cafe when I was much younger, but it's been closed for years and years and years, and it's just recently opened as Prism Coffee, and I have heard that it's got the best coffee in Gateshead. Right, when it's not misty, you get a lovely view from here. You can see right up into the well, it sounds strange saying you can see right up into the valleys, but you can. You see the lake down there. It's just a shame it's misty. Kind of a spooky tree. It looks a bit like a person, doesn't it? Again, not sure what it's supposed to be. You can probably hear the main road in the distance as we get to the bottom of the park. I don't often come all the way down to the bottom of the park because we're parked at the top, and it's a hell of a power walk back up the bank, which I'll try and capture for you. That's the back of the Saltwell. I'll just show you the Dean. This is it here. Very pretty. Sometimes a little bit smelly because of the stagnant water. You can see the little bridges, the little stream running through it. Very pretty. So this is the front of the Saltwell. An original feature. I think I've just stung my foot on a nettle. So this is what we call the big finish when we're doing my walk in the park. So I haven't done it for a while, but let's see how I get on. I'm not actually as unfit as I thought I was. So that was my favourite autumn walk, coming to Southwell Park and having a walk around. We've probably been out an hour. I said I was going to check my steps, so I'll put how many steps I did on here so you can see. Maybe not as many as I would normally do, because I was specifically just filming bits of the park there, although I did walk quite a way around it. So now that you've watched my video, remember to go across and watch Marie from @BusyBeeMarie, Tina from Tina's Talk Time, and Maria from Maria Crocker to see what their favourite autumn walk is. And as they live, you know, Tina and Maria live in different parts of the UK, and Marie lives in Vegas, so that should be quite interesting to see where they walk. So thanks so much for watching. That's all I've got for you. Bye for now.